We would like to improve our coordination and synergy amongst the leadership team and with other staff, again, by December 2025. The key result we are looking for is a leadership team that leverages individual strength and complements each other's roles to deliver quality services. So we discovered who we are as the leadership team, our enneagrams and everything has its strength. Can we leverage this and then have the synergy, complement each other's roles so we deliver quality? For the activities, we will start by looking at developing and sharing periodic harmonized work plans. If you want to know what I'm doing, I must put it down and be able to share it with you, and then you will see how you can come in to support what I'm doing. We will also hold periodic reviews on the progress of these work plans. It's not just having the papers, but we'll sit together to see how are we progressing, how are we faring on this. And then lastly, we will hold weekly team building practices through somatic sessions and sharing a meal, something we learned during our coaching, which we fondly call break the cassava. So first of all, what we started to try to do is get the team together, find one of our colleagues to take on that session, do some stretches, do the breathing that we have been doing, then go on to chant our mission, vision, and core values, and choose a core value to live by for that period. We come back again to assess how were you living by that core value. What is it that we need to change as the entire LABE team? Okay, again, we will check ourselves on that achievement of 90% on-time completion of actions identified in each review meeting, 85% achievement of the planned milestones across all departments, and 80% attendance among team members during the team building practices. Are people turning up? Secondly, we want to have improved information flow amongst leadership team and other staff whom we are working with. And to do this, we want to have monthly knowledge hour sessions for all staff on topical issues. It also helps when they get to hear from the historians, where did we come from? So even the new members get to learn from that bit, the knowledge hour. But it also can be to exchange ideas and learnings. What is happening down there? How do we come in to support and help you? Then we will also have training the leadership team and staff in using existing tools and platforms like the Teams, emails, social media for meaningful information exchange. It's not just throwing a picture there, but what are you saying? How can we use these to actually share information and support each other to do better? And that's how we will check ourselves, competence in digital tools usage, improvement in staff understanding, again, of the organizational goals and strategic priorities, so we are all moving the same journey. Next. Asante sana.
You know, when your friend brings you the picture, you can also borrow that drawing. Like, can I use it also?
Sure.
Good job. Any comments? Yes, Francis.
Okay. I want to appreciate and congratulate you for the good work. I've seen your plan is very comprehensive. It is having indicators which are measurable, and also objectives are very fine. I just want to enhance it with the one input. If you can add before you just sharing the final, the costing part of every action to realize your key result will be fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't scare me.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. I think it's very well detailed. What has caught my eye is your emphasis on knowledge sharing within the team. I think helping people to understand where the organization has come from, just building that continuity with your knowledge hour, I think that is a really innovative way of doing it. And I've realized a lot, we have a certain assumption about who gets to represent the organization. So you'll find, maybe it's the leadership, maybe it's the comms people, but actually each and every staff member is a brand ambassador. And I think it's important to empower people with a solid understanding of the organization's vision and mission, not just the statement of it, but the spirit of it. So dedicating a specific time to just educate your whole staff on this, I think, is really good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Labe. I really like how you're going to empower the leadership team to leverage individual strength and complement each other's role. I just looked at the activities that are under that item. You talked about harmonized work plans. You talked about reviewing progress, holding monthly knowledge hour sessions and all that. I just want to suggest one thing. Before you review the you harmonize the work plans, can you hold a session where is the goal setting? Just like what we've learned during this session, how do you collaboratively come up with a dream or goal that harmonizes everybody, and then you're able to develop work plans, maybe for different departments. The other thing that also I noticed in your presentation, you talked about training finance and comms on knowledge management. How might you also support them in leadership? Oftentimes, finance and communication are left out in leadership issues, and that keeps the organization a little dragging behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Labe. I also add my voice to Mona. I like the knowledge hour. Well done on that. And the meal sharing, where you're chanting your vision and mission. Keep that up. And I agree that the result of a leadership team that leverages individual strengths and complements each other's role, I find it very strong. But I wonder whether we can replace the first two activities, because I feel like those two activities are already taken care of in the annual planning process. They're almost like already happening. What other more sharper activities can we come up with to achieve? The results feels very strong and clear. And it's, when I say it, my mind is going into more of the Enneagram, people sharing more around their strengths and weaknesses, and seeing how that, if my strength is your weakness, how can we buddy up and, I push you up. Because I feel this result is very strong, and I feel it is very pointing very directly on the aspect of you delivering on acting on plans. I find it very strong, but I feel some of the two of the activities there, the first two, are already almost happening within the way we do work in NGOs. So I think we have an opportunity there to replace with some two sharper activities so that you achieve very strongly on this result.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciated. Thank you very much. You
This
can
is
see
really
me off
helping
with
us.
a dash now.
Abadash. Really helping us understand everybody's work. It's giving us very good clarity. Or not everybody does, and it's very good. Because your cohort 2, you will have to, remember you're forming a cohort where you'll continue working together. So, last but not least, Komu. Welcome. A round of applause for them as they come here. You can use that, yeah. If you're comfortable with that.
Good morning. I'm a dash. I'm ready to take in whatever you may have to add to this. So, Como Learning Centers would like to take this opportunity to also announce the transition of Como Learning Centers. We are rebranding to Kukuza Education, so don't get confused when you see two logos. So we are moving from Como Learning Centers to Kukuza Education, and we are going to become now a Ugandan registered, fully Ugandan registered organization. Yeah, and led organization. Thank you. So for us, it's been the Collective Rising program came at the right time to help us sort the new us, the new Como, right, going forward. So our dream is an organizational culture that is driven by our norms and values. The values, we've set them, we've set new values as we are transitioning into Kukuza, but we've set norms from the Collective Rising. We've lived some of these norms in the last 6 months particularly, and we've seen certain transformation that going forward we don't want to lose it. We felt how can we have the sustainability, how can we institutionalize them so that it becomes a culture. So that's just a glimpse of our norms and values. We can proceed. Why we exist as Kukuza Education, we believe that a holistic education system is the key to Uganda's development. And our vision is to see that we produce confident, adaptable, and values-driven young people that are thriving in our fast-paced modern world. And we want to achieve that by transforming Ugandan schools into more creative, engaging, equitable, and safe learning spaces. Moving on. Our strategic project for our transformation plan 2025 is to build our values and norms into all our organizational policies and program strategies. We feel this will enable us to live the values and norms so that they are part and parcel of how we go about our work. That is just one evidence of what we are doing to transform schools. This is a picture of our students, some of the students in one of our intervention schools. Their project, community service project that they did. You can proceed. Our objectives, we want to review and revise 5 of our existing policies to reflect the organizational norms and values within the next 12 months. I think I heard Joyce yesterday talking about the fact that we have values, but they just sit in documents. So we want to actualize that. First, go back. Then the second is to ensure alignment of our organizational practices with the stated values and norms. It's one thing to put stuff in documents, another to live. Then the other is to achieve employee engagement and participation in the values-based initiatives within the 12 months. Continue. So our activities, tasks, and results, we have majorly 4 activities that we are looking to accomplish. One is to get an opportunity to take the rest of our staff team, including the welfare department. That is, we have the cooks, the security, the cleaners, into majorly personality test is majorly focusing on the other program staff and the support staff who are not major, like the technical program people, but also there's a point where we want to bring in the other welfare team. So the tasks there is to train the managers in coaching, the simple one, not the Enneagram one, because we are aware that that comes with cost, but we're looking at a simpler personality test that can enable us not to be speaking at them, but for us to be on the same page. When we talk about values and norms, they should be able to imbibe and gel with what we are talking about. Then the managers will want to believe that the managers can do the synthesis sessions, so they will take on that. And the results there that we expect to see is enhanced self-awareness, and we want to check this through the staff adaptability, understanding of others, and self-regulation, and also improved individual performance and teamwork. And we want to check this through self-supervision, drive for excellence, and synergy on tasks. The second action is we want to train our staff and mentors into our values and norms. That will take us the tasks. We definitely have to develop and conduct a training session on the values and norms. We want to create talking walls to promote the discussion and reflection on values and norms. We want to integrate values and norms into performance appraisals and organizational reviews. And then we'll follow that with the quarterly, using that for the quarterly staff performance appraisals, and also audits of the compliance. Are we complying with what we have set out to do? We want to do that on a quarterly basis on our policies. The third action is to develop and implement a strategy to celebrate achievements. It's our norm 5. We want to, the other tasks involved is to develop and implement a strategy to celebrate achievements. These are some of the things that we envisage to do as part of the strategy to celebrate achievements at individual and organizational level, because it is easy to just go on and tick boxes, go on, but you don't stop to pause and even celebrate. This is Celebration Summit, Celebrate. Then the final action or activity is to develop and implement a plan for staff, personal, and professional development. Tasks to conduct a 2-day workshop with managers, wherein we will use what we would have gotten from the personality tests to incorporate those thoughts into the staff development plan. And then I will want to start working seriously on fundraising to support staff development initiatives. This will be embedded in our fundraising plan. It's not going to be like a standalone, but we want to, wherever we are reviewing our fundraising efforts, we want to be able to focus, have a clear focus on staff development. How many proposals are we submitting? What are the efforts going to that? Then organizing team building, social events, and the results here, we want to see that we have higher levels of motivation, job satisfaction and commitment, improved job performance, increased productivity, higher quality of work, and enhanced work-life balance, reduced stress, and increased overall well-being. So this is it, Kukuza Education. Thank you. And the Cohort team, Samali, over there, Irene, Michael, okay, and Rogers. Okay. Oh, we've got a new member, Edmond.
Thank you. Nice. I like the celebration. We forget to celebrate. So that one I'm stealing. So, we said when the designs are good, you can steal ideas. You don't have to, that's why we share. Some comments? Grace. And then the mics are going to come.
Thank you so much, Fatma. That was a great presentation. You've really done a good job. Just to talk a little bit about the norms, training on norms and values. it's something we've done, so I think you can as well consider. It's good to have a training, but how do you ensure it's sustainable and it's actually something that is continuously going on, creating a culture? So you can actually incorporate activities or games, because that actually helps a lot. When you take out people on a team building activity, you have activities around the norms. It helps a lot when in calculating that culture of people living the norms and the values. And then on professional development, yeah, I totally agree. It's very key and paramount. As we fundraise, what else can we do? Because you know, fundraising doesn't come in immediately. So we could as well consider, we're also trying to do the same, consider these free courses online, very short and free courses online. So long as you've done a training needs analysis and you can identify where someone needs to build their capacity, you can find out a few free online courses where team members can actually just take on as you still fundraise.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kukuza Education. I love the transition. Mine is a question about transiting from Como to Kukuza. You presented about your strategic objectives, your mission and vision. Have you also changed them, or you adopted what you had in Como? As you go to Kukuza, are you transplanting what you had in Como and adapting them here, or the ones you presented are purely new for Kukuza? Then, just for clarification, you talked about fundraising support staff development initiatives. Do you mind saying more? Something we can also borrow. Thank you.
Let's respond to that question, and then there's a question, comment, then one at the back.
Okay, for fundraising, for staff development initiatives, we learned from our coach during the sessions that it must be staff development must be a deliberate effort, and it will fetch costs. So depending on the level that we are looking at, that is why we are going to base it on the two things. We base it on the institutional growth needs. For instance, if we are expanding, we are scaling in terms of schools that we are working with, we may need to either grow the staff that we have, and the courses may not be available online, the skills, the upskilling that we need to do. And what do? Do we just push them out, or we can grow them? But of course, terms and conditions apply. If the institution puts in effort to upscale you, there are certain terms and conditions that will apply. For instance, we sign certain agreements that you serve the organization for this period of time, because the institution has also put in effort to upscale you so that you give back. Yeah, so there is that, but we have also taken the free courses, and it will all depend on the institutional growth needs and then the individual staff needs, yes. And there are also fellowships. Fellowships, there's always a call for fellowships, but do we even have a focus to look out for these fellowships and see which of our staff can take up these opportunities? So we just see things flying and we let them do what? Pass by.
All right. Edmund here. Good morning, and thank you so much, Hajat, for the presentation. It's very human-centered. I like that, and I like the shopping vouchers thing. I just remember when my dad got shopping vouchers when we were kids, and he gave them to us to do that shopping. How about, they told us we talk about the how. It looks a very detailed plan. I would just want to know how much time you have to implement this, because they look like very core activities, and you need to put some timelines to it. I realize some of them are good but ambitious in a space of a year, so you might need to stagger them over time and see what you can take on in a specific period of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to applaud the great work done by Kukuza, especially on the part where you have integrated your action plans to the strategic plan. We are also looking forward to borrow that. Also, I have two comments to improve your design. The first one is you can see on how you can integrate the budget and costing to the planning, especially for the activities to be enforceable. But again, you can also, we have done also the value and culture capacity building with our teammates. And we have seen if you integrate the mindful games, as my colleague has just said, it's easy to be, the knowledge to be acquired with the rest of the team members. And even if you, at one point, would be able to ask anyone to state what are the core values, what are the cultures that your organization is having, then it's gonna be easy. So you can just buy that idea. My last one is the question, especially when you said you wanted to conduct personality test. So I was trying to figure it out, how are you going to conduct it yourself? As our coach, Dada Joyce, also has said, these things also need a lot of expertise and experience on the field. So if at all you did not venture or you did not buy an idea of hiring a specialist to work with the management who have done this exercise here, I think it's going to be too much for you and also a burnout. So maybe if you can respond to that. Thank you.
May I wanted to support Fatuma a little bit about this thing she said here about putting your budget, putting institutional development as part of your fundraising. If you do not value your people, the donors will never value them for you. I have done this business, like seriously, for 25 years. I have never turned back any request for institutional development. But if the problem is you. You don't ask anything, you just concentrate on the project. Not all donors can support institutional development. But if it is not there, they'll never raise it. And the money is there, actually. Because if the organization is not strong, then they cannot deliver on what you want to be delivered. Again, for those of you who are part of the Echidna thing, I didn't say this, Dennis, but I mean, there is actually institutional development support. Is that correct? I know for a fact. So, why can't you even ask the donor yourselves? So, by being shy and not asking and just deciding it is not there, this stuff is what will improve and increase your productivity and make you deliver on what you want to deliver. So, how come that the last thing you think about is the people, and they are the people who are doing the job? So this is part of leadership. This is part of really figuring out how you want to be the state of the art organization that is delivering on the promise to communities. If that is your focus, and you don't have the skill to do that, and then you continue raising money to actually continue doing what you have been doing always. So for me, this is a wake-up call. You know, the problem usually isn't the donors. The problem is you. How do you value your people? That is also why you are working them until they drop. You know, it is an institutional culture of exploiting. You are on the very thing that makes you go where you want to go. That is what you are undermining. So I want us to start rethinking and not start, don't think for the donors. You are not donors. Ask what you need and figure out how to ask it in a way that it can reinforce. So congratulations, Kukuza. They are seriously going to be asking this thing. I know for a fact they are. So how do you yourself view your staff? I'm talking to the EDs. I know they will attack me after this, but that is okay. I will deal with you. Anyway, so let's really figure out. And then finally, one small thing. I cannot believe the resources that are in the internet. I have, because a lot of the things that I do, I don't know them. I don't have to ask anybody. The things are there. How do we get the discipline to be learning people and trying to find out the answer before we ask? Our culture in Africa is ask, ask, ask. Even the things so simple that you feel embarrassed when people are asking them, because even if you don't do AI, there is that chat thing. You can at least ask the thing, what are they? All this stuff on mentoring, on whatever, there is so much to learn. How do you develop, as a leader who is on the spot and moving, how do you develop the culture of learning and go before you even ask? So I know you don't have time, but if you don't have time to learn, we got something cooking here for leaders. So wake up and smell the coffee, as I like to say, so that you can actually do what you need to do. So sorry, but I thought the funding thing, I would just push it there and let you just stew in it and then go back and say, I don't care who works for me, I will kill them. They are not part of the budget. Thank you.
You need a mic there.
This mic here already.
Oh, there's a mic there.
Before. Yeah, thank you very much. Again, my name is Amy Zumlamai. I think Dr. Joyce has hit what I wanted to talk about, especially around the resources available when we talk about the professional development. The other thing that maybe Kukuza can explore is that as part of the staff development, you could try to identify the topics of development among the team members, and then you can give them tasks by facilitating those topics to the rest of the team. Now, you're not just talking about personal development in terms of knowledge that they're gaining, but also the confidence of facilitating. You're providing additional skills to the team members so that they can basically have the knowledge, but also the skills of facilitating, because during the process, they get some kind of feedback, and then in the next time they can improve. So I think it's one of the very simple but accountable way of training ourselves as team members within the organization. Thank you very much.
Fatuma, congratulations, Kukuza Education. Kukuza, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joyce, you said you didn't say it, you actually said it. Huh? So, and I'm confirming that there are OE grants, there are organizational effectiveness grants meant to improve, organizational productivity. So it's a one-time grant over that period, grant period, and organizations can reach out to, I'm talking about Echidna. Organizations can reach out to their respective program officers and seek them. If you've already used it, then you'll have to wait for another grant period. But they're actually available. Yeah. Thanks.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We want to appreciate the comments. We from Kukuza Education. And one thing that I want to respond to, this was raised by Stella, I think, about the vision and mission, whether we are carrying the vision from Como to double in the new Kukuza. This is not true. We went through a process with Mighty Ally, was our consultant, whereby we designed a completely new organization. And we have the new values, the new mission, the new vision, the new name, everything is new. And that's why one of our activities is actually to train all staff about our new norms, values, mission, and vision. So everything is new and we are changing completely. So that's what I wanted to pass on. Thank you very much.
Wow, great job. Kuza Education. Well done. Round of applause. So if you're done, you've all done, give yourself another round. You've all done very well. We are a bit early, but I thought, did you want to make the announcements now or wait for tea time? Okay. We needed you to reflect, to have a few reflections, which we shall do as a team. But first, we were curious on what was difficult. No, first, what are the key themes you're hearing? If you can we can just talk about the key themes you're hearing from those transformational action plans. First of all, are they transformational? A mic behind there, please. Some key themes, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, just to appreciate the good plans that were presented by different organizations. I think when we are discussing the expectations for this celebration summit, for me was to learn what other organizations are planning. But for me, what is coming up, a suggestion to focus on people in our organizations. It was very clear that the leaders who are here would like to extend this experience to other team members, which is also a good sign of generosity and understanding that this is about all of us. I like the suggestions that are focusing on people, their time, well-being, and trying to find time in our schedules to have that human touch with our colleagues. And that's something that I really appreciated. It didn't come out very clearly, for instance, in our plan at PAL Network, but it's something to think about if we are to incorporate. Yeah. And the Enneagram thing, I'm not expecting that we will have the same level of long and deep discussions on Enneagram. Maybe there is a shorter version of it that can be available. Well, let's see. But the idea of understanding each other's in the team and valuing their contribution, considering the nature of every individual, I think is a very powerful message that we do care about our people. Thank you.
Great. So Enneagram is a tool, and there are many tools. So just as you were speaking, I thought, even without a tool, seeing a person for their different, for who they are. So there can be 5 women, but all those 5 women are different. One is a single mother. One is married, but is going through divorce. One has just finished school and is your intern in the office. Do we see people for who they are? And the different, now the current word is intersectionality, the different elements that they have to face as they move on with life. The same with men. The same, do we just see human beings as just human beings, or do we really see them for their differences that they have, because everybody is different. So we can look for tools. There are so many. And I liked how Sarah said this gender neutral, gender transformational. There are different levels. And you can create, you can decide here will be really understanding Stella. Who is Stella? How does she? You don't even need tools sometimes. We just need to remove the veil and actually see people for who they are and have the space where people can have real conversations. The tools certainly help you in understanding, because you say, no wonder I'm like this. But the first step is just, how do I move from completely not even seeing people, seeing them as just workers to go and deliver, or human beings?
Yeah, I think also here people want to assess personalities. I think it's something that has come out very clearly in the different work plans. And I think it's a good way to start to understand people and understand self. So it's something I had. Something around wellness. I've had it very commonly in different work plans. People are focusing on how do we make sure people are not just a pair of hands. People have challenges and they have real life that happens for them every day. And lastly is about reward and recognition. People think in the different work plans that they want to recognize everyone to motivate, but also an extra thank you for those who are making an extra effort. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other theme you had? There was somebody with a mic here.
Thank you, Christine. I feel there's an important line that is cutting across so many presentations. It's around leadership. The need to develop leadership teams or leadership skills across different organizations. And this is a powerful way. How do we grow leadership, great leadership, to influence and impact on the quality of learning outcomes? Thank you.
Great. Quality leaders. This, yeah, we'll come back to you, Francis. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. So what I'm also hearing is about setting the culture within the organizations that can help the organization effectively execute their activities differently. But also what other areas I'm hearing is about how do we build the sustainability in terms of transition within the organization, having those culture built so that at least it is something not stopping by the team who have been in this training, but at least the system that can help the transition aspect. And then lastly, strengthen the internal systems, looking at the different departments within the organization. So I see it's coming out very clearly. Thank you.
Nice, very good.
Okay, thank you so much. I hate repeating what they've said, but it was just his point. Immersing people into the organization, them to understand the values, the norm, and everything for that strategic direction, I think it's very powerful.
Immersing people, if that's true.
I also saw an aspect of time that is coming in every action plan, that to be able to accomplish a certain target, you just need to frame yourself into a certain period of time, so that that will make a meaningful result to the next action that you want to go on, or to the next project that you want to take in, so that you realize the biggest objective. So time is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, I think I also had some themes around bringing the governance of the organization. Sometimes the board is far removed. They do their thing and they're far removed from the day-to-days of the organization, but bringing them closer so that there's alignment from the governance body, your directors, to the leadership, to the staff, all speaking the same language and aiming for the same thing.
Great. So it's cutting across, not just, but it's from the board to the lady serving tea. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with all my colleagues. Something in common that I did not hear, I don't know if that makes sense, is maybe within our plans, how do we plan to leverage this cohort? You know, because we are talking about consultants, we are talking about, but I've not had. I've just been seated here reflecting. You know, can this be part of our plans? Already there's a lot of resource here.
Yes.
So how do we plan to incorporate this collective thing into those plans to leverage our collective resources here?
That's a very good
I
point.
don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe not cross-cutting in terms of the themes that are coming up, but I've been thinking of the statement that you made yesterday, that less is more. And looking across, I think we have still continued with more and more. So what's the reflection as we refine our action plans as teams? And also what has been mentioned today to incorporate what we are planning here in the organizational strategic plan or the annual work plan to make it part of what we need to do. Thank you.
You know, in Labe's presentation, she said we will be having, and she had two. One where we have chants we discuss the mission, we discuss the vision, we discuss our values. We have a meal. The meal caught me, of course. Food catches me. And I said, you know, that's just enough. I actually thought, imagine if you sat was it every week or every month? It can even be every month. And every month we are having a meal. We discuss our mission, our vision. You, how did you do? Are you living your that thing you did is not up. That is enough. Sometimes you don't need very many things, but I have something to look for. But if I have to do, I have to read a book, then I have to meet the book club, then we have to have a meal, then we have to, it's a lot. And you still want me to go and meet the community? It's a lot. So for real, as you go to reflect, really think about that less is more. What's the one thing I can do that will be the one that will be the catalyst, rather than 10 things. You don't need 10.
So from a coaching perspective, we learn in integral theory, we learn lines of development, and the lines of development that we want to develop in coachees and clients. And a big line of development that I've noticed amongst all of you is interpersonal. And that means your communication, your empathy, your teamwork, your collaboration, conflict resolution, all those things. There's been a huge development in that line. And also in terms of the quadrant theory, you are able to, from what I've seen, you've been able to use the upper left in terms of how does this affect me and the team, how does it affect the group, and how on the right side of the quadrant, how do we put in the process and the structures to make this work? So, and action plans. So, well done.
Those people you're trying to work with, this is your top. Everything else we are doing is to deliver this. So sometimes we get caught up in one direction or in another direction and forget the children or the people who we are looking for. That is why it's important to then say, here you have your organization, and then you have culture, all those things you have here. But you have also the leadership. Who is you people who've gone through this training? Then you have another set of people here about how will we harmonize this into the strategy. All those transformational action plans, how will you harmonize them so that you still stay focused on your people? Remember, the end goal is the people, is the results. Chana had the one that all girls thrive or something. So how will you harmonize into your strategy? So we're going to spend just 10 minutes in pause sharing ideas on how you're going to harmonize. You don't have to share back. Maybe we do have, I can see doing stretching. But does that make sense? Is the question clear? How do we harmonize? How do we harmonize this? So some things could be, let's think through whether we need to do everything, or let's look at our strategy and see which parts we fit in. Just share among yourself some ideas how you harmonize these transformational action plans into your strategy. So you're ready for Rosemary. Could you come here and join them? That is better than what they did in the morning. 4, 1, 2, 3. Could you join them? Yeah. You want to do it as organizations? You want to do it as okay. Great. So who is here? Come on. Kukuza. Kukuza is here. Who is there? Basic needs. Labe. Labe is here. Okay. Basic needs here. Msichana. Wasichana wakuje hapa. Really Uganda? Where is Really Uganda? At the back? Action Foundation. Grace is alone today. Oh my. It's not my fault. I apologize. Who have I missed? So basic needs, where are you? Basic needs? Here. Where's everybody? Let's move, let's move, let's move. Basic needs, we're waiting for you. Pal, where's Pal? Here. Great. Tough. There. Really Uganda at the back. Msichana here. Labe there. Komo. Kukuza here. Have you got the question? How will you harmonize? How will you harmonize with your strategy? Weka timer. Huh? 10.
They don't have to share back.
All right. I think you've had a good conversation. Clearly, you can't finish in 10 minutes. That's what you shall do when you go back home. So we want to take a tea break. But you got the gist of it, that it needs in order to harmonize, to check what it is, how you put it together. So we're going to take a tea break. Melissa has an announcement, and then we shall be back. I think we need to be back before 11, so that at 11 sharp we start off with Hope Chigudu. So please be seated at 5 minutes to 11, so that we can start off at 11 sharp.